Good to go.
Welcome back to the 24-hour retail show. We're your hosts, Eddie and Britt. Today we'll be talking about Robinhood updates. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get it.
Subscribe, like, follow, all that good stuff. Welcome back. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've been back.
It has been. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If this is your first time seeing us, we'll be more consistent. It's been a wild month in the market.
Yeah, so. if you follow up on our lives though, we are live every Thursday on X and YouTube.
Absolutely.
But we'll continue to keep putting together these videos. We understand this is probably the time that you need more confidence in your Robinhood stocks. It's a crazy market. We have the red light because it's been a red market right here. That's right. Whatever that AI bubble is, I wonder if that pops up on YouTube.
Hopefully we'll be able to show some green soon.
We have a lot of notes today because a lot of stuff happens obviously in 2 weeks of the market. I can't use my phone, so I have some notes right here. Let me see if I can pull them up. Perfect. So, all right. So, starting off, I think a lot of people are panicking. This is not like a market emergency, but it's definitely a black swan event, and it's self-induced. We did it by ourselves, so we could take it back. We could redo it, but a lot of people are pulling their expectations back on what they expected for the year. So I think
lots of downgrades. I've seen lots of downgrades from analysts, and it's not looking great, but also it's a great time to buy. So
right, and if you honestly haven't put any money in the market, or if you've been waiting for the perfect time to tell someone you love to start investing in their future, this is the best time to like get in right now. It's at the bottom. It's if you've been investing for the last 2 years, all of those gains have kind of just evaporated.
Gave them all back.
Except for Robinhood, of course. We were in Robinhood at 8, 10, averaged up to 16. So still not underwater on most of those Robinhood shares. A lot of my options are, but right now it's just it's short-term volatility, and like they say, if you can't handle them at their lows, you don't deserve them at their highs. So.
I love that. So, if we do give back absolutely everything since 2020, then you didn't miss the 2020 entry. Everybody feels like, I should have gotten in on the Mag 7. There's so many opportunities. Here's your opportunity, the opportunity you've been waiting for. Definitely don't want to miss out on this.
Yeah, so you mentioned that there were some downgrades from analysts. Morgan Stanley cut price target to 40 from 90. So that definitely doesn't help. And then you had Barclays. They lowered Robinhood to 45 from 76. So
and we just got a downgrade just weeks ago, it feels like, for 69, downgraded to 69. And that's when we were at, I believe, 65, I think. So it can really go either way. You never know what's going to happen. We can have, 2 p.m. we have a press conference. Everything can be reversed just like that. You don't know what's going to happen in this market. It's always better just to get in than time. Don't try to time the market. Time in the market over everything.
Yeah, trading volumes for crypto and stocks will probably go down if the market keeps going down. But at this point, if the market ends up rebounding, there's going to be a lot of trading, a lot of volume going up. So
I think it's a great time for investors. If you're not nearing retirement, if you have some income coming in. But it's a great time for investors. For traders, it's looking quite volatile. So if you are trading in this market, let us know how you're doing. Let us know what moves you're making.
Yeah, let's go check. Let's check Robinhood. Let's see where we're at. It is 10 a.m. right now. So
we are at 35, 34.
This
32.
looks good, but we've been kind of traveling between 40 and 30 all week, so it's been crazy.
I believe it was at 32 in pre-market, so a little bit of a rebound, up 3%.
I've never watched my portfolio fluctuate this much, but honestly, it does help not looking at it. If you just say, all right, next time I look at it, it'll be good, this type of stuff happens. Last time I looked at it, it was 30, 29, and so this is good to look at. 35, 27, up 3.23% on the day, and hopefully we can keep this green. I know that there's just been, every time something good happens, though,
Seems like an after-hours press conference just crashes it all.
Exactly. The administration just wants to say something to topple us over, but this is what you wait for. You know, there's only certain times in the market where you can really make your gains, and I think this is definitely one of them.
Generational wealth is made during the bloodiest of market times. This is when the risk is here. No risk, no reward. So if you're going to take on that risk, you will be rewarded, I believe.
Vlad said that he was a fan of free trade, as expected. I mean, we have commission-free trading, so I think this is definitely. I mean, where it makes sense too. Like, and that's obviously generally speaking. I'm sure if someone has restrictions on us, like if you do not oppose those restrictions, then you'll probably end up being put in a different situation in the future. But
Warren Buffett is also a devout fan of free trade, and I think it's so interesting how we have media of him saying that tariffs can wreck us, you know, obviously before the DJT. But just a little bit of news, like somebody falsely saying, oh, Warren's a fan of these tariffs, he thinks this is great for the market, that can change just everything. We just got some news.
A lot of hold on, I want to comment on that too, because that's a lot of fake media too. And so you bring up the Warren Buffett, the fake news there was so strong that Berkshire Hathaway had to come out and issue
a statement.
Exactly.
And say, hey, this social media stuff, don't get it messed up. This is not happening at all. And it's happening more often. It's market manipulation. We just got word yesterday. All of these pages that we follow that are, you know, usually really on it, got fake news that Trump will be reversing the China tariffs. And the market just shot up. White House had to come out.
Oh, yeah, they said pause it for 90 days.
Pausing it for 90 days. The White House had to come out, press secretary, and say, hey, that actually is not happening. And we went down again. So all of this insider, fake news, market manipulation, it's par for the course. The volatility is real.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. This is a crazy time, but there has been some good news for Robinhood amongst all this bad news. We actually were added to the FTSE All World Index. So this just makes me think like, okay, when we're in the S&P, like more people are going to have to buy this anyways. So this is just a great time to accumulate shares. Again, I have a lot of money in Robinhood, so I like think about it when it's falling down. I'm like, I'm trying to buy more, but I'm also trying to make sense of like not diversifying more.
The All World Index, I believe, is the top 4,000 mid to large market caps in the UK. So this is huge. I do see this happening for S&P 500 soon, hopefully.
Yeah, this also brings me to the topic of they also got a Lithuania bank agreement, something like that, where they could possibly be entering Europe. So that's good for those investors as well. And then on top of that, they added John Hegeman, who was appointed to the Robinhood board.
Congratulations.
Yes, that's the Facebook Chief Revenue Officer of Global Monetization. So think about that. Like Robinhood's trying to expand globally, and now they have a Chief Revenue Officer whose responsibility is to expand one of the biggest companies' global operations. So they just tapped into this guy's monetization network, and we'll see where this goes with Robinhood and how many doors this opens for our global rollouts. But
despite what's going on in the markets, Robinhood is not losing steam. They're full steam ahead, and we love to see it. We just, if you didn't watch the Lost City of Gold event, go and take a look at that. But that was just, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? Robinhood is just really trailblazing right now, and don't be scared. When you're convicted on a company, invest in them. You want to get them on discount. This is what you want. You want a generational company on discount. Buy it now. Not financial advice.
So March is over. Did you play any of the prediction markets?
You know what? I did not. I was so focused on maxing out my 2024 retirement funds. So
that's good. Yeah, because the date for that is obviously coming up for April. So if you want to max out last year's Roth IRA, you still have the chance to do that. So that's a good reminder.
Yeah, next week, I believe, April 15th is the deadline to get a 3% IRA boost up to $420 when you max out your 2024 contributions. April 15th deadline. The April 30th deadline is for 2% gold boost on IRA transfer. So definitely want to make sure that happens.
Yeah, and we're coming off such a big move, big high from Robinhood in February to our gold month of March. Wrapping up that, if you guys watched the event, it was amazing. They rolled out all this banking stuff. We'll go ahead and tap into all that in another video separately. But we did do a live recap. We watched it together. We dressed up because it was the gold, the lost city of gold. You know, we had our Indiana Jones swagger on.
Gotta get in character. It was really exciting, honestly. The ending was so much with the strategies, the Robinhood strategies. That was the most exciting part, in my opinion. Curious what you guys think. Let us know what was the aha Hollywood moment for you during that event. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and then just to close it all out, you know, this is just it's a crazy time, but this is when everyone's talking about buying the dip. This is the real dip. Like normally you're getting 2 to 3% on a fluctuation, but it's always going up every other day by 1% or so. But now, you know, when real companies that haven't really changed any fundamentals and no sure thing has happened with the tariffs yet. It's just confusion. It's just people being afraid. And so this is the time to buy.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And just maybe last month, the month before, we were speaking of Vlad's talking about tokenization, digital assets. This is the way. Today, amidst all of these tariff talks, Donald J. Trump took the time to say that his executive director, digital assets, say ushering a golden age for crypto. Our Treasury Secretary Besant says the U.S. government is looking at regulatory impediments to blockchain stable coins and new payment systems and removing those impediments. So it's an exciting time. As we said, Vlad was already on it. He's talking about tokenization, digital assets, and with the stock market kind of crashing right now, maybe this is a great time to turn to digital assets. Diversification is key, especially in these uncertain times.
Yeah, so we got tariffs, we got terrifying markets, and now it's time to buckle down. And I'm trying to find money. I turned in some coins, some quarters, because I was like, oh, I'm buying anything that I can, any extra money. I'm not pulling any leverage. There's no margin, none of that, because we don't know where the market's going. It could go lower. So that's the truth. Is you can buy in now, but there's no way to predict this.
It's pretty in cash right now, I think.
Yeah, no, cash is great too, but if you have money to invest, and I have cash, but if you have money to put in to max out these Roths, maybe to jump in the S&P while it's low, you're not going to regret this in the future. So yeah, that's it. We're going to try to go ahead and close it out right here. We went ahead and ran through all of the highlights that happened in the last 2 weeks for Robinhood.
Oh, last highlight, racing partner. So we now have the NBA, we now have racing. Robinhood is doing it all. I wonder what we'll have next. Not
as exciting about the racing, to be honest. I've never seen the basketball one makes sense. You know, that's the most streamed sport. It's that sport's highlights are the most interactive fans online. The highlights play everywhere. Even yesterday, Ja Morant threw out he gets in trouble for pointing the gun, so he started doing the grenade, and he has a Robinhood jersey on him. So even just controversies and stuff that happen inside the NBA, the Robinhood patch can somehow just snuggle there in the corner. Somebody had a major injury on that team as well. And while he's in the hospital, or while he's, he posted something on his live or his snap or whatever he posted on it. It ends up on X. That's how I seen it. So he posts it and it just says, Grizz life, or, shout out Grizzlies or whatever. But he has like blood on him. He's like all messed up. And then there's just the Robinhood logo right there. Just sitting there for you. He's probably just checking his Robinhood app while he's sitting there not playing. But
the marketing team knew what they were doing with that placement as well.
And it's just gonna gets a global recognition, especially in the three teams that they're on. So yeah,
whoever's the head of partnerships, we need Red Bull Games next.
Yeah. Okay. Red Bull over racing. To be honest, like I'm not that fan of racing, but now we might end up at a racetrack at some point in the future just to see the Robinhood logo, because that's just cool. So shout out to their marketing team. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, meet back with us. We'll be putting new videos out all this week, and then we also have our Thursday lives, not financial advice show that streams on YouTube and X as well.
6 p.m. We'll see you then.